The Giants. The Giants. They lose to the Braves yesterday 5-1, but who they're done. Who cares about the loss?
The Braves, watching the Braves, before you move on, watching the Braves, I longingly look at them and I go, my God, I'm so jealous.
Do you see why I've been talking about them all year?
I'm so jealous.
It happened last year when you see Acuna went down midseason and they took off.
I know.
I mean, he's not even having a great year, and they're still flying because Vaughn Grissom comes straight from Double-A. They get who else they got? Michael Harris III.
Did you know that Vaughn Grissom was like an 11th round pick in the same draft that Farhan started his first drafting?
Oh my gosh, he looks like a stud, doesn't he? What about Michael Harris III?
I mean, they all look good. I mean, that was a beautiful swing the other way. It was like, and Kruko and Kipe were talking about it, just super professional. I'm watching that team, Bonte, and the reality of watching that team, we could say, oh, they drafted well. If you look at their actual first-round picks and how long it took for guys to get there, it's not like they picked superstars that were no doubt about it. They developed these guys. They signed them internationally and developed them in their farm. Their farm system produces players. And I'm going to start at the top. Their GM, I didn't even know who he was. Alex Anthopoulos. I'm not even pronouncing it.
Anthopoulos.
Okay, I'm not even pronouncing it properly.
Let's do that.
He was the Blue Jay
Let's
GM.
just call him Alex A.
He was the Blue Jay GM for a couple of years, okay?
We call him Double-A.
And then he lost his job there, went to the Dodgers. He's still only 45 years old.
Right.
Went to the Dodgers for 2 years as the vice president of baseball ops. And then in 2017 was signed by the Atlanta Braves to be the GM there. And he's made a lot of different, like Acuna, who you referenced.
Right.
An international free agent signing who they developed.
Right.
Name the last guy, the international free agent pool that the Giants have brought up and developed.
Is it Pablo?
The only guy I can think of, like I'm saying the last guy that who was a highly touted dude. Maybe it is Pablo. I don't know. But like Angel Villalona, I feel like I'm still scarred.
Where's he at now?
In the jail somewhere?
Is he back? Is he in jail? Because I know he got out. He went back to the minors for a second. I know he got into that situation in Central America. I don't know, but that's a name we all waited on, right?
Well, Bonte, so's Ozzie Albies. He was an international free agent signing. Like Austin Riley was a pick from the other regime who they've developed. These are guys that they developed in their system.
By the way, it's just funny, the YouTube comments. Sean, by the way, I just say good morning to everybody getting off their graveyard shifts. If you're at work, good morning. If you're getting ready for work, good morning. I'm going to read some of these comments. Everybody out there, good morning on 280, 101. Be safe out there on the roadways. YouTube, Miller. Twitch, and the Comcast Business Text line. So we got San Jose Jazz fan. What is up? Dress up day at school. All right. So we got that. Then we got Tyler Miller. Oh, man. Y'all got court today? Or new LinkedIn headshots? Yeah. I do need a new LinkedIn headshot. I do need one. Mine's a little outdated. Whatever. Our boys are looking like about 150, 180 grand. Look like money, baby. We look like money. The Giants don't look like money. Because I'm looking at this text on the Comcast Business Text line. I was at the game last night, and I couldn't believe how many substitutions the Giants were doing. They had 3 different left fielders by the 7th inning. Felt like little leagues out there. Welcome to 2020, 650. Welcome to 2020. But go ahead with the Double-A, the vice president of the Atlanta Braves.
Basically, what I'm getting at is that I think the Giants got the wrong guy.
Oh, you said
we bestowed all of this power and wisdom and selections and development onto Farhan. Are we sure he's the right guy? We've talked about Andrew Friedman ad nauseum.
No, well, nobody gives Andrew Friedman credit for the Dodgers, and I wonder. I've been yelling this all year for the last 2 years, actually. Andrew Friedman constructed the Tampa Bay Rays. Remember when they started helmet? Mm-hmm. David Price, B.J. Upton, Evan Longoria, Matt Garza. They had big game James Shields. They were humming. And Joe Madden, the manager who's been fired by the Cubs and been fired by the Angels. But he built that Tampa Bay system.
Wouldn't you agree that a lot of people turn and pivot and point to the Tampa Bay Rays system and they go, we want to run our team like them but spend a little more money?
Right, exactly.
Okay, everyone says it. No one else can do it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the Dodgers have gone out and they have spent above and beyond. The Cardinals make massive moves left and right. So many teams have tried to replicate the Rays thing. And, like, for the example, the A's have tried to do this. Right. They've tried to replicate the Tampa Bay Ray model. And yet, every 3 or 4 years, they're turning the entire roster over because they can't figure it out.
And you see what Tampa's doing? They're starting to spend a little bit more money. Glasnow, they signed to an extension. Arizaroni, and then, of course, Wander Franco, who's back in the lineup. They gave him a massive deal.
Yes. But the point being is that Everybody points to that. It's a very unique situation, and no one has seemed to replicate it. And I was taught that the Giants were going to spend money, and they were going to be smarter than everyone. Not only was Farhan going to change the entire farm system and make development better, but he was going to spend wisely, and we were going to get younger, and he was going to have the hard conversations with the older veterans, and we were going to move off of them. Bonte, how is their average age in the infield older now than when he took over?
Yeah, I don't know.
How is their outfield age older now than when he took over?
I don't know.
Why is the guy pitching last night, an 18th round pick, the first guy to be a Farhan drafted guy making his debut?
Yeah, it's sad. And what did he do? Give up a walk and then a double?
Look, I'm not trying to.
I'm not trying to rip the kid.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's his first major league appearance, whatever. But listen to this. The Giants are poised to become just the fourth team in Major League history to finish under 500 in a full season 1 year after winning 100-plus games.
Four times in baseball history.
This 4 times in baseball history. St. Louis Cardinals followed up a pennant winning 101, 61 season in 85 with the 79 and 82 record. The Reds did it in 1970, and the Cardinals again in 1931. Hasn't happened much. And so Andrew Bagley in The Athletic wrote this article where he sat down with Charles Johnson, basically one of the owners of the San Francisco Giants. And he gave Farhan Zaidi a vote of confidence.
Crazy.
But there's a lot of excuses in this article.
I know.
One, hey, the pandemic really set our timeline back. Nobody else is making that excuse in Major League Baseball. The Diamondbacks aren't making that excuse. The Padres aren't making that excuse. Nobody else is making that excuse. What about the Mariners who brought up Julio Rodriguez?
The Diamondbacks.
Right.
Like every team that you're referencing, none of them are making that excuse.
Nobody's making that excuse. So
here's the thing that was, okay, so from the Andrew Bagley article from The Athletic, the thing that stuck out the most, he's got 1 year left on his deal, Farhan.
Yeah, and he hasn't gotten an extension. However, did you see that in the article? They didn't really, during press releases when it came to Brian Sabean, they didn't announce his extensions. They never even talked about it.
But Sabean made the playoffs.
Yeah, Sabean made the playoffs over and over.
Look at Sabean's win-loss record.
Sabean was awesome.
You know?
Sabean, is he on the Wall of Fame yet?
He should be.
Sabean doesn't get enough due in this market.
And we destroyed him.
We destroyed him every single year.
FireSabian.com, remember that?
FireSabian.com, when those Giants teams were on the cusp. You talk about always how it's tough to win in sports. How it's tough to win the championship.
So hard.
The Giants were on the cusp from 97 all the way through 2004. They had great teams. And Sabean was the architect. And then again, they went in 2012 or 2010, 2012, 2014. We know what happens there. But here's what else Charles Johnson said, because everybody said, hey, are the Giants going to spend some money? Well, are they motivated? Here's what Bagley said. Are they motivated enough to restore the payroll into a $175 million range where it resided from 2015 to 17? Or even bump up against the luxury tax threshold, as they did when they spent more than $200 million in 2018? The short answer from Johnson, it depends. But if that's what it takes, then yes. Johnson said the baseball needs, as far as what we need to do to put a very competitive team on the field, we're willing to do that. If it was 175 or 180 million or higher than that, we're willing to do that. There's going to be years when you have 3 or 4 prospects coming up ready to roll, and that may put some relief on the payroll. So we'll see about that. But none of these prospects are ready to go. And so then he said, Johnson and Zaidi have spoken about how to rank their priorities. Johnson said, I'd rather not comment on what we have to do while the guys are still out there trying to win each game. I'm certainly happy to talk in specifics after the last game ends on what we need to do. But it will be a different team next year. That last sentence, it will be a different team next year. How different? Time will tell.
So there's layers to this conversation. Charles Johnson did some great things for this team in terms of being one of the majority stakeholders as the owner. His son Greg, I guess, is going to be kind of like taking over. I'm not really sure. The whole thing makes very little sense to me. There is a board of people that they have to get anything checked and approved through, and I think it's a little too much for me, just in my opinion. It's hard to get 2 people to agree on something. Good luck getting a panel of people to agree on something. Charles, you're 90. You're worth $6 billion. You're the only billionaire in sports talking about penny pinching. You've paid the stadium off in 2016. Either you're ready to spend like a big boy in big boy sports or sell the damn team. Because I guarantee you there is a thirsty, blood-hungry, bloodthirsty, competitive owner out there who wants the Giants and looks at them as the West Coast Red Sox and says, I will spend $220 million every single year on my payroll. And I will freaking take this team and drag them to the playoffs and turn them into a cash cow. Can we agree? The Giants are a cash cow financially.
Absolutely. Revenue. I mean, they sell all kind of merchandise. It's a party down there, and they're still getting concerts.
Look at the road. Milwaukee was filled with Giants fans.
Wrigley Field over the weekend. Nothing but Giants fans. A lot of Giants caps. There's a lot of Giants caps and Niner jerseys.
That's what I'm saying. Do not tell me this isn't a sleeping giant in terms of they own Northern California.
Let me ask you this. Farhan only has 1 year left on the deal. Do you extend him this offseason, or do you let him play it out?
No. If you give this guy 1 year, I'm not extending him. No, I would clean house. If you're asking me directly, I'm cleaning house.
I'm not mad at that, and I told you.
I would start fresh. I would get rid of Kapler and Farhan, start fresh.
This brand of baseball is just not appealing to me.
It's been 4 years. 4 years. And you can say pandemic all you want.
Nobody else is using that excuse, though.
I don't want to hear it.
I'm not using that excuse.
Okay.
It's like using the rain for Sunday's game against the Niners and Bears as an excuse. I'm not buying it.
Imagine the Warriors saying, the pandemic is the reason that Jordan Poole didn't develop. I'm serious. Would Warrior fans allow that to be a conversation?
No.
Are we allowing that to be a conversation for Javon Kinlaw or Brandon Ayuk?
Nope.
Okay?
Not at all.
So I don't want to hear it when it comes to the Giants prospects. Figure it out. You're worth $6 billion. Put the infrastructure in place. So I'm going back to the same thing that I'll continue to say. It's unacceptable for them to field a team that's not worth $200 million in salaries every single year. They should be a top 5 to 8 spending team in baseball every single year.
Yep.
You have no stadium debt. You've got $300 million that you got from Oracle, and you have yet to put it out onto the field.
Right.
I don't want to hear the excuses about you being broke. If that's the case, sell the team to someone who wants to spend.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And we had to get that Giants talk out of the way because I know people want to talk some Niners, and we will get back to the 49ers here. A lot to get to. They brought in Marlon Mack. Marlon Mack signed to the practice squad, looking for a running back. They worked out a quarterback. I think they probably worked out the quarterback just to throw to the running backs. We'll see about that. But Marlon Mack had a 1,000-yard season with the Indianapolis Colts. We'll see if he can run the ball Sunday. Can he pick up the system in time? Or is it Jeff Wilson Jr.? Is it Jordan Mason time? Are we going to see TDP for the first time in the Niners uniform? But the home opener Sunday is rocking and rolling, and the spread is high.
It is.
Vegas has the Niners favored by 9. That's a high spread for a divisional game.
Can I just put one last punctuation on Giants ownership for a second here before we transition?
Go ahead.
If Joe Lacob bought this team, would we be penny pinching and worrying about bringing Brandon Belt back or Carlos Rodon back or anybody? I mean, let's be real here.
Dude.
Why do we accept subpar, scared money ownership in this market?
Well,
we are a big boy market.
I've been saying
this
that.
ain't the Minnesota Twins.
Well, I've been saying that. This is a championship.
We're the Giants.
Listen, this is a championship or bust market.
We are an original National League team. We have won 3 World Series. We're not the have-nots from Candlestick anymore. We're not the team that doesn't have the infrastructure in place. We've got the legacy. We've got the money. You got the fan base. I don't want to accept losing anymore.
Well, I don't know what's going to happen this offseason. I don't know who they're going to sign. And I don't know, and I've been saying this all year, what players are going to want to come here and play in this philosophy, in this system, where you're subbing left and right? Like the Aaron Judge needs us to be, as he hits his 57th home, was it 58 now?
He hit 2 last night.
I know, at Fenway Park, majestic
and
home
he's
runs.
Carrying them.
Carrying the Yankees.
Yeah.
Carrying them. But that's the Yankees, all right? Big boy market. The Giants play like a small-time team. And this philosophy, where Giants fans have mocked A's fans for years, oh, you little money ball. We just spend money and we do what we do. We don't care about money ball. Giants fans don't accept that philosophy at all.
No.
107 wins last year, great. But here's the real deal about the Giants. They've been losers 5 of the last 6 years. They've been losers.
I know.
Losers.
I know.
All right? That's not a fluke.
Coinciding with the Dodgers rising. And you can say, oh, they only won the 1 COVID year. They've won the NL West. What is it, 8 out of the last 10 years?
9 out of 10, 9 out of 10.
Whatever the number
11.
is, it's absolutely insane. Bonte, I'm going to continue to say this. It's unacceptable. And as a Giants fan, we deserve better. We do. We bought so much merchandise when this team was winning World Series. Where'd that money go?
Well, that
we could platoon second base?
Listen, the Giants did spend a lot of money in 2017, 18,
it's not,
16.
How are they spending less now with inflation being at what it is and seeing what everyone around baseball is making more money now than they've ever made? We're spending less. That is a disproportionate valuation chart, B.
Wow. Dodgers have won 9 of 10.
There you go.
9 of 10 of the NL West. They've already won it this year. The outlier being the Giants last year with 107. But again, the Giants are going to become the 4th team in Major League history to win 100 games last season and then finish under 500 the next year.
We're going to roll back Jock as a Band-Aid, and we're gonna regret it. We know it. Like, I like Jock. He's a local guy.
They should have traded Jock at the deadline.
They should have done something at the deadline.
They should have traded Jock at the deadline. Maybe they need to trade Carlos Rodon because he's gone.
Before we're out of here, Joey Bart's still in the 9-hole. It just doesn't make any sense to me.
And look, I'm seeing Mr. Rock Bryan from Vallejo. Come on, guys. Shasky, you know the real deal on why the Giants are penny pitching. Don't tell me because it's that new building across the street. I do not care. The stadium's paid off.
Well, the
stadium's paid off.
Who are we crushing right now for real estate transactions? Right. The A's, right? They're trying to make a real estate transaction. You're running a baseball team. All right, Joe Lacob made a real estate transaction.
Right.
He also ran the basketball team and was winning championships.
And he's in the tax.
Exactly.
And he's going to be in the tax for the foreseeable future as long as they're winning. I don't care about the new building in right field. I don't care. And I'm starting to hear that excuse. Well, the Giants are penny pitching because of Penn. You know what? I don't care. I don't care.
How about them sending down Littell and then saying it's performance-based?
Oh, well, can we get to that for a second?
It's performance-based.
He's lucky to be going to Sacramento and getting on a Greyhound. Instead, he should have got a freaking coach ticket to send his ass back home, wherever the hell he's from. Well, he should have been off the baseball team.
What did Harbaugh do when Braylon Edwards checked him?
Cut him.
Yeah, what did he do when Brandon Jacobs was complaining about touches?
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
You're out of here.
You're
out of here.
Just say it with your chest.
You're right.
You know what I mean?
Littell, we're going to go, it's performance. No. That's a weak move. Send his ass home. Send his ass back to North Carolina where he's from. Oh, go Sacramento. Why are you giving him a chance to be in the Giants organization and put on that orange and black? He should be gone.
He's the highest prospect in Sacramento, by the way.
Can you believe? Can you believe that guy had the audacity to show up a manager? Zach freaking Littell?
Oh, wow.
Littell, whatever the hell his name is.
That is a crystallization of where you are as an organization. You don't even have the cojones to tell Zach Littell to take a hike.
Wow.
Because you kind of need him. That's how bad. And it's 5.04 ERA.
5.08
not the 5.04 boys.
5.08 now. 5.08.
Whatever.
Come on, add that .4 to
stinks.
it. He does stink.